Hello everybody, Ken here, back for some more Magic Duels Origins. I'm going to jump back in where we left off with the story of Kithian, the young vigilante. He got into trouble for thieving from the better off, giving to the poor in the slums, and he was put in prison for 10 years, and then he was trained by his mentor in forces of justice and virtue. And now, well, now there's trouble ahead, because Akros, the city, has fallen under attack as harpies mercilessly swarm the city's walls. Every able body is needed, so Kithian and the other prisoners are released, the city's last hope to beat back the monsters. So, let's get into it. We've got to beat back these monsters. Nope, I think we got a little training first.
You can have multiple creatures grouped together to block a single attacking creature. This is a good way to gang up on a larger threat. Your opponent chooses how the attacking creature deals damage to your blockers.
Okay, so obviously we know that we, as the defending player, get to choose how people block, but then the attacker can deal the damage however he wants. So this guy had 6 strength, so he can deal 3 to this one and 3 to this one and kill them both. But because they both do 3 attack, they do enough to kill this chappy here. Whereas if we just blocked with 1, he'd have killed this, but then he'd have survived. So
usually, an attacking creature will deal all its damage to the creature that blocked it. But a creature with trample can deal its excess damage to the defending player.
So there's a good note there. Okay, so
you'll see trample and group blocking in action in this skill quest.
Okay, so we've got this Vulpine Goliath, which has trample and it's a 6/5. So we're being attacked here.
To block an incoming attack, click and drag one of your creatures to the attacking creature you want to block.
So we can't afford to take any damage.
Once you've selected all the creatures you want to block with, click Confirm Block.
We can't take any damage here from this 6/5. If we block with this, normally this would stop all the damage, but because this fox here, this large fox, has got trample, 3 damage would hit this and the other 3 would go through to us. So we got to block with both guys. Boosh, boosh. Now, this isn't a very smart move on the opponent's part. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't actually do this. But confirm block. There we go. And he takes out both our coursers, but he also dies. And any other moves? No. Okay, great. We can play this forest. Don't really need to. And then we're going to attack. And we have the same creature. We have this 6/5 fox. He's got a wall. This wall is a 0/4. That means that 4 of the damage will go into the wall, but we've got trample. So the other 2 should go straight through into old training bot's face. Which is the ideal, really. Boom! Crack! Lovely.
Great job!
Thanks very much. Okay, so now I guess we've got to fight these harpies. Just a nice little bit of flavour for us.
Normally, all attacking and blocking creatures deal combat damage at the same time. However, a creature with First Strike deals its combat damage first, before creatures without First Strike. This means a creature with First Strike can often destroy an enemy creature before that creature gets the chance to hit back. In this skill quest, withstand your opponent's assault.
Okay, so we're going to be attacked by this juggernaut. Okay, so we got a 2/3, right? And this 2/3 can kill him, but it has to survive to do that. Now, we've got this card that gives him +1/+0 and First Strike, so we can block, confirm block.
A timer counts down whenever it's your turn.
We stop the timer. We cast our Kindled Fury on the Elvish Warrior. Boom. Now he's a 3/3. But he has first strike, so he does his damage here in the first strike step. This creature's dead, so it doesn't get a chance to retaliate. I'd really like... First strike's a mechanic I'd really like to see in games like Hearthstone. I think Hearthstone could benefit from it. It's very difficult. You have to be very careful. It's incredibly strong, obviously. It's like if you can kill the enemy creature, then you take no repercussions. But it's how, you know, you look at a card like Magma Rager in Hearthstone, which is a 5/1, costs 3 mana. It's not a very good card, but if it had first strike, which wouldn't be too dissimilar to cards you see here, it could kill anything with 5 health and not die itself, providing, of course. But then obviously the weakness of that is it could be hit for 1 by a mage hero power or something.
Well done. First
It's a
strike
mechanic
is
I think they could
advantageous.
implement if they wanted to. They're, you know, I don't think they should just straight up copy the magic abilities, but there's so many at this point that it's difficult not to. Okay, well, this is not a bad starting hand. 2 lands is the minimum we would accept. In fact, I don't think it's going to let us mulligan yet. I think maybe that might be something for later on. Seems like for now they're just giving us a good curve. So let's play out our creature. Nice 1-drop, always good. And the turn ends, and now it's the Harpy's turn, I guess. They're attacking the city. A little bit scary. Boom. Okay, get our Swift Claw out. And we're going to attack. We're going to attack with all. It's just 1, I guess, because this guy's got Summoning Sickness. Look at what we've got. We've got this Flying Vigilant. We've seen that before. The Great Heart we've seen before. We've got this Flying Double Strike. Now, Double Strike's good fun because it does first strike and then it deals regular. So in the first strike step, this will deal 2 damage to the opponent. But then if the enemy, if it's not dead and the normal combat phase happens, it will deal its 2 damage again. Triggered abilities. Alright, let's have a look at triggered abilities. If you've played
Some
Hearthstone,
abilities
you'll be
trigger
familiar with these.
whenever something else happens in the game. These are called triggered abilities. For example, many creatures have abilities that trigger when they enter the battlefield. If an ability triggers on an event you can repeat, such as playing a land, you can reap the rewards every time.
Okay, so with this guy, you see, like, when this guy comes into the battlefield, he destroys an artifact. So that's like a battle cry effect in Hearthstone. There's other ones like Knife Juggler.
Complete this skill quest by using triggered abilities.
Okay, so it's our turn, and we've got to kill the opponent. He's got a wall up to block. We've got this guy. Whenever a red creature enters the battlefield under our control, he gets +1 strength, +1 attack. So this is a red creature. You see, it's got red on the mana cost. As long as it has that color in the mana cost, it's that color. And also, so this guy comes in. He enters the battlefield and destroys an artifact. Boom. This wall is an artifact creature, so it dies. And this guy gets +1 strength because another red creature's come in. Great stuff. That's the power of triggered abilities. There's lots of enter the battlefield ones are very common. When a land enters play under your control, that kind of thing. Sometimes it's when you draw
Excellent.
a card.
Many creatures do much more than just attack and block.
They do indeed. Thanks, helpful lady. Okay, right. Back to the game. Now, we've done 2 damage. This guy's got a blocker up, but it's a 2/2. Whenever a creature dies, tap it. So that's interesting. So this is a triggered ability, but it's not a very beneficial one. So basically, if he blocks, or in fact no, because if he blocks, then he'll die as well. But if anything on the board dies, then he's tapped and he can't do anything. not what I wanted. I wanted the Eagle of the Watch. Boom. 3 mana. Let's go. Let's attack with our 2 creatures. Stick to the same strategy of just playing good solid curve of creatures and just battering them in the face. He's going to block our 3-1, which is sensible on his part, but it's okay. We've got a flyer now. Oh, here's an interesting land. We might take a look at that in a second. So this is a dual land. Ooh. This guy's got reach, okay, so this guy can block. Oh, in fact, this is interesting. This guy's got reach, but he can only block creatures with flying. So, one of the most common sayings about Magic is, you know, you follow the rules, but cards break the rules, and always follow the card first. So this guy can't block creatures on the ground. He can only block flying creatures. So if he's the only one there, we can attack with our land guy, and he'll get through. Great. Okay, so that's going to be the end of his turn. I want to take a quick peek at this. Bring it up, come on. Alright, let's just look at it here. Okay, so this is a dual land, and it comes in tapped unless you already have a swamp or a forest, which are the black and green lands. And you can use it for either 1 black or 1 green mana a turn. So you get to pick, so it's quite powerful, but you can only have, remember, you can only have 4 of any 1 card in a deck in Magic the Gathering. So you can have any card up to 4 times, like 4 copies of it. And these, because they're not basic lands, this says basic land, but this one just says land. So you can have 4 woodland cemeteries in your deck, but you can't have more than that, whereas you can have as many basic lands as you like. That's the one exception to the rule. There are actually a couple of cards that are exceptions to the rule, but we won't worry about those because they're not likely to come up anytime soon. Right, so this guy has reach, but he can only block creatures with flying. This guy doesn't have flying, so let's just attack with him because he can't be blocked. Cheeky. Not going to waste our flyer. That would be silly. But if he does attack, maybe we'll consider gang blocking. Oh, interesting. Okay, so when this guy dies, he gets milled for 4 cards. Now that seems like a downside, but Magic the Gathering has a lot of ways to interact with your graveyard. There's a lot of, especially in black, a lot of cards that will return a card from your graveyard to your hand, or sometimes even to the battlefield. There's also some cards that can be played directly from the graveyard. You know, they'll just say on the card, hey, play this from your graveyard for 2 more mana, so you get a chance to play it a second time. Let's play our big flyer. I say big flyer. He's a 2/2, but he does have double strike. But he deals first strike and regular damage. Okay, so this guy can block, but he's only a 4/2. So if he blocks this, it's not the end of the world. So I'm actually gonna just donk these in here. Right, great. Let's confirm attack. Now see what he blocks here. Okay, he didn't block anything. If he'd blocked this 2/4, I'd have been very tempted to Glorious Charge, or I haven't got the mana, so I wouldn't have Glorious. So that's why you sometimes don't want to play the creature straight away, so you can make those decisions. Okay, there's the Flesh Mad Steed again. Great, okay. Keep forgetting you have to click continue. It doesn't really matter when you're playing a white deck like this. Oh, here's the Blood Toll Harpy. When it comes in, so when it enters the battlefield, each player loses 1 life. So we're going to get just tick down 1 here, but so are they. Oh dear. Not a life. Only got 20 of them. Right, okay. Interesting. So this is where things get quite interesting, because there's all kinds of weird nuance to this. Okay, so he can block all our creatures, hypothetically. But if he does, well, we've got this Glorious Charge. So I'm kind of tempted to attack with everything, right? Because we can actually trade quite favourably. This has 2 attack, this has 2 attack. We'll be able to buff up our creatures to have 3 health. Or this one will have 3 health, this one will have 5 health. So neither of these guys should die if we do that. And this guy's quite good to keep alive because he does have double strike. He can't be blocked by the one guy that could kill him. In fact, no, he could be blocked by the drifter. But if he did, because we buffed, the first strike would kill the drifter before he could react. So we don't want to play the glorious charge before he declares blockers. And the reason being is that we don't want to give away. Okay, but let's stop the timer. Okay, so this guy's blocking, so he's going to get buffed to a 3 attack. His first strike damage going to kill this guy before he gets a chance to damage him back. This guy is going to survive and kill this guy because he'll have 5 toughness. And these two here, well, I think they'll be trading anyway because they'll still only have 2 toughness. But they'll still trade with these 2 creatures and get rid of them. So his stuff should all die. We'll keep these 2 alive. It's pretty good, really. I like that play. Nice little bit of tech. Boom. So this guy dies to the first strike. This guy gets tapped because of that. And then everyone else deals their damage in the normal phase. You see, it did this one first because I guess there was the first strike damage first. And then we'll play our philosopher. And you see this guy's only got 1 health because he took 4 damage. But at the end of turn, there we go, heals back up to 4. Fantastic. That was a really good play for us. There's a Forsaken Drifter. That's okay, that's fine. Not too worried about that. Okay, got another Great Heart. We'll hold this in our hand, we'll bluff out the AI. I'm sure that doesn't really work too well, but this guy is safe. We might lose our 2-2 if we attack with it, but it will let the 2-4 go through. So I think we're actually going to just try and pressure him down now. So you'll notice this guy is going to... These 2 will trade, but this guy's going to get through. He deals 2 damage now, and then he'll do 2 damage again, along with this guy's 2 damage. So we still get 6 damage in. Pretty fantastic. I like that. This is okay. These creatures, as I say, these creatures are a bit plain, but it's only the tutorial quest. Hopefully, once we get through these sort of story quests and learn about the origins of these characters, learn about all the mechanics, maybe then we'll start to get some pretty exciting things. So this guy can kill him on his own. We can leave these other 2 here. Go on, finish him off. Sky Spear Cavalry. There we go, 2 damage in first strike, and then another 2 afterwards. Bang! Harpies are dead. Top tier. Good work, Kithian. Look at him doing some... I can't remember what it's called, the something omancy. Light omancy. Should have been paying more attention. There we go, upgraded our dick. Fantastic. What a great dick we've got. Right, with our martial talents and magical skills, you manage to fend off the onslaughts of voracious harpies. However, you hear calls for help from the main gate. The main gate? Crikey. From the main gate. Before the harpies can regroup, you make your way along the walls towards the cries. Oh no! What's going on here then? A terrifying Cyclops approaches the main gate, and he's not alone. You and your Kithian's irregulars are the only ones who can stop the monsters from storming the city. Fail to defeat them and Akros will fall. Succeed and you'll become a hero worthy of the gods. Oh, we want to become a hero worthy of the gods, I think, so let's get into training. I do like the way they intersperse these.
Enchantments
doesn't jump
are powerful cards that stay on the battlefield after you cast them. They have a wide range of effects. Some boost your creatures, while others make things more difficult for your opponent. Like most spells, you cast enchantment spells during your main phase.
Okay, this is quite a fun thing to see.
In this skill quest, use the enchantment in your hand to win the game this turn.
Okay, so enchantments can't be played at any time. They're not... The only cards that can be played at any time are instants. And also cards with an ability called Flash, which is the creature version of an instant. So we can play this now in our main phase, and it gives all white creatures we control +1/+1. So all these 2/2s will become 3/3s. And you note that this isn't a creature. It's just an enchantment. It kind of sits off to the side. It can't be attacked. He can't like send a creature in to destroy it. It's always going to be there, and it's going to stay there for the rest of the game, unless this training drone has a specific card that says destroy enchantment. Remember, we saw one earlier that was destroy target artifact. You can get that for enchantment as well. So we can attack here. We've got 4 guys. He can only block 3 of them. One of these guys will get through, deal 3 damage. Oh, he's double blocked 1 guy. This is fun. So you see, I selected choose blocking order, so I can now say deal 2 damage to this guy, or 3 damage to this guy, and then none to this guy, which is fine, whatever. Don't know quite why he decided to double block, but I guess he figured he was dead anyway. Might as well try and take down one of the glory seekers. It's interesting that it goes through all this combat once you're down at -3
Great job.
life.
Enchantments are powerful because their effects last as long as they're on the battlefield.
Racking up those coins, 195 gold. Good stuff. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Taking it to the bank. Okay, great. So, yeah, enchantment's pretty helpful.
Auras are a special type of enchantment, most attached to a single creature and affect only that creature. The enchant ability will tell you what that aura attaches to. You can target any creature with most auras. Read each one to see how it affects the enchanted creature. If it has a negative effect, you can choose to attach it to one of your opponent's creatures. If the enchanted creature leaves the battlefield, the aura is put into your graveyard. To complete this skill quest, find a way to win this turn.
Okay, so we play these on a creature. So this one here, the enchantments are in Hearthstone as well, and so what it does, pop it on our 1/1 eager cadet, and it gets +1/+1 for each planes, which is +6/+6, and it will have flying. It's pretty good. So let's play it on this creature. Boom. 7/7 flying. He's got a flyer that could block us. So thankfully we've got this other enchantment which says enchanted creature can't attack or block. Well, we'll bop this on you so you can't block, and that stays on there until this creature leaves play. So if you return it to your hand, the enchantment falls off. You might have a card that destroys target enchantment, but oftentimes an enchantment will go away when a creature dies or when it's returned to its owner's hand. There we go, there's our 7 damage. Crack. Quite a fancy eager cadet.
Well done. One popular strategy is to use auras to make a massive threat to dominate the battlefield.
Popular is maybe pushing it a bit because it's quite fun and casual, and certainly when I used to play multiplayer you can do that, but it's kind of putting all your eggs into one basket. You don't see it a lot in competitive. There's a few very powerful auras, but for the most part the fact that they don't last when your creatures return to your hand or killed is a little loss of value.
Some cards put +1/+1 counters on creatures.
Look at these lovely counters.
A +1/+1 counter increases the creature's power and toughness by 1. These counters stay on the creature as long as the creature is on the battlefield. In this skill quest, your opponent is about to create a massive army and obliterate you.
Uh-oh.
Win this turn before that happens.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some 1/1s. Scoot mob. Beginning of your upkeep, if you control 5 or more lands, put 4 +1/+1 counters on Scoot mob. Crikey, so this guy, next turn, he has 5 lands, so at the beginning of his upkeep, you remember the first start of a turn is untap, upkeep, draw. In the upkeep phase, these become they get +4/+4, they've all become 5/5 creatures. And if they survive till the turn after, this triggers again, because they'll still have 5 or more lands. They become 9/9s. I mean, we'd already be dead, but it's thankfully we got 2 2/2s, and we got this fella here, supply line cranes. So this guy comes in, and his ability is to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. I'm gonna put it on this guy. Gets a nice little counter on him. Look at that. Little counter. I really like they emulate that because counters are used. In fact, oftentimes what you use is dice because it's easy to do 1, 2, 3, 4 and it doesn't get quite as messy as counters can. But counters are quite good fun. And then we attack with our 2, 2 and 3, 3. 2 plus 3, if I remember correctly, is 5. We should kill this training bot. Fantastic. Smack. Crack. Stab. Nice. Good job, boys.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Some decks are based on casting a creature and piling on +1/+1 counters until it's an unstoppable force. Try it sometime.
So, maybe an oversimplification, but +1/+1 counters are used a lot. There's a lot of ways you can manipulate them and move them around. Okay, right, well, let's take on this Cyclops. Okay, we got a nice hand here. I don't think, again, it's not going to let us pick what we do. So let's just play our creature. We got a very consistent deck, I say. I think this Gideon campaign, this Kithian campaign, is definitely designed to be fairly sort of pre-constructed in terms of they're kind of giving you the cards they want you to have. So you have a nice smooth sailing ride for this initial run. Keep trying to click on the land. Just the way it shuffles around in your hand. Okay, great. And we're going to attack with our guy. Boosh. Crack. Take that Cyclops. Elite Vanguard to the face. 2 damage. Crack. We're already 10% of the way there. Fantastic. See, look at this. A 2-2 is not much better than a 2-1. It's slightly better because it can't be pinged. Like, it can't be pinged for 1 damage by a spell. It's not great. This guy's got a 3-1 with Vigilance. That seems like a better card, really. The thing is, like, 1 health versus 2 health probably doesn't matter all that much when none of the creatures we're encountering have 1 attack. And they all have 2 or more anyway, so this dies just as easily as this for all intents and purposes. Got our thing. We're going to attack in here. Probably not going to use our glorious charge. But we'll get the attack out of the way first. I expect he'll block the 2-2 because it is a little bit tougher. In fact, he's not going to block at all. So he said, well, I can do 3 damage with this, which is better than blocking 2 damage. Which is, you know, he's not wrong. But at the same time, I don't know that it's necessarily the best play on his part to try and trade with us when we've got the creature advantage. Although this guy's got Vigilance, so he can attack and then still block next turn. So that's well worth noting. We could block, but I'm not going to. I don't feel like I have to. There we go, there's a 3-3, crikey. A little bit dangerous. This nice green-red deck, I like that. Green-red's quite a fun combination. Lots of big smashy creatures in the green-red. Oh, here we go, we've got our Honor of the Pure. So we can play that to get these guys up to a range where they can kill these guys. In fact, we might even be able to Glorious Charge. I'm going to play this because we have to play it now if we want to get the value out of it. So this guy, if the 3-3 blocks our 3-3, well, that's the ideal. Because whichever one of these blocks the 3-3, he's not going to die if we play Glorious Charge. So we might play the Glorious Charge here to keep our creature alive. Attack with all. Confirm. You've got to keep an eye on which button you click here. Okay, great. So we're gonna Glorious Charge. We're gonna keep this guy alive because he'll have 4, and he'll stop this guy. Keep one of our guys alive. There we go. We also got him down to 10. That's pretty good. We're a little bit land starved here, but it's okay because we can play this creature. 5-2. That's okay. It's not great. We can just block it with. Honestly, I'd rather block it with this guy, so I might not attack with him this turn. We'll see. See where we're at. Yeah, I think I might not attack with this guy. I might just attack with our 3-2. The reason being is that we can block this guy with our 2-2 and or 3-3 at the moment, but we'll block. Keep this guy. Right, I'll be back in a sec. Right, okay, so this guy's got rampant growth. He's going to play an extra land. Pretty good card. Oh, crikey, he's doing it again. That's trouble. Right, okay, so he didn't attack. Interesting. Interesting decision. I guess we're just going to attack with everything because we can probably kill him. Great stuff. Okay. I think we've got him pressured down. Not going to be much he can do now. Oh, look at this. We got our +1/+1 fella. Put a counter on a guy. Not going to make a whole world of difference, but every little helps. There we go. Took out we took out the Cyclops. Nice job, Kithian. Right, your heroism at the gates of Akros did not go unnoticed. Heliod, god of the sun, look at this chap, big spear, seeks a champion to face an even greater foe. He offers you a sun-blessed spear, instructs you to destroy a mighty titan who serves Erebos, god of the dead. Sounds a bit worrying. So, we have to deal with this titan. We'll do that next episode. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, be sure to bop that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more Magic Duels. I'm enjoying this so far. Getting towards the end of Kithian's campaign, so hopefully things will open up a bit. We'll have a bit more access to some interesting cards. But I think we've been through most of the core mechanics we're going to encounter. There's obviously going to keep being bits and bobs here and there. But for the most part, we've learned a good chunk. So thanks very much for watching. I've been Ken, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers!